What's going on YouTube? I just wanted to make a quick video here for you on how I farm my headhunter up in about 3 days. This is the fastest I've ever done it. Usually it takes me about 4 to 5 days, so I had a little bit of luck. But again, you can do this in 4 to 5 days easily, and then if you get lucky enough, 3. So I did this. This is all solo. There's no magic find. This is my standard league start build. That's kind of a generalist. It's pretty good at mapping, pretty good at bossing, pretty good at everything. It doesn't necessarily excel in anything crazy, but we have some decent movement speed and some decent clear and stuff like that. So you are able to do this strategy with a build that isn't super end game, but can run T16s that are with a delirium mirror. So if you can do that, you'll be fine here. You can start this strategy and kind of work your way up as your build gets a little bit more powerful. But here she is. We got her today. 3 days, pretty quick. I'm pretty pleased. And we'll just kind of get right into it. So as you can see, I'm running a Chieftain Ignite Ballista Totem Explosive Arrow. So my bow is pretty nice. Gear is decent, so it's not a trash build, but you could have a more meta build that's 8 to 10 divines, and this strategy will work just fine. You're gonna take some deaths and all that, and that's all well and good. Deaths just slow you down. Really, that's only the concern here. I'm not trying to level. I'm not trying to do any of that. I was just trying to make my money. And basically, we're running maps that look like this. Ideally, somewhere between 90 and 110 quant, just because when you start getting above 110, it gets a little more difficult if you don't have a super powerful build or already have your headhunter. So let me go ahead and I'll show you how I roll a map. I ran almost exclusively Cemetery and Crimson Temple, and with that, it's about 80% Crimson Temple, about 20% Cemetery. So what we would do is we would typically take 4 maps, clean them off. We're going to sexton them up to 20% each, right? Make them rare. And then now we're just avoiding the mods that your specific build can't. My builds can't run that one right there. Avoid elemental ailments. We're ignite, so that one really kills us. And then, so we're going to roll that one. Beyond is always really good. We don't want lack of life regen and mana either. So that kind of hurts us. So these all look good, and we're just going to corrupt them. Let's see, and then check them. Reflect Fizz, we're fine. So all of these are fine. This one's a little bit low, but I would typically still run this just because it's not going to be big enough of a deal, and chances are it'll be an easier map that we can burn through much faster. So you trade off a little quantity for ease, and so this is fine. But again, when you start getting into the 90s and the 100s, those are still okay. You might just take a couple more deaths depending on your build. Next, Scarabs. So I run 4 at a time, and I'll show you when we get into the perk tree or the map tree. So we run Divination. Again, I started on Rusted, and then little by little worked my way up as I started to kind of develop more currency. But I always start on the low end ones and work my way up once I can afford to do so. And then we go Harbinger. Again, same situation. Start on Rusted, and then move to Gilded when you can. Then we move to Ambush. So these are our 3 primary Scarabs that we use all the time. For our 4th one, we mix it up a little bit. We would run any combination of Cartography, Torment, Ambush, and I guess that would be it, essentially. So and then we would also potentially run either Shaper or Elder. So all of these are fine. It just comes down to adding more this is more quant, this is just more items, and then these are more monsters, right? Cartography, we'll get into that based on our map tree. This is just will help us drop more just raw currency if this is what we're doing. So any combination of these 3 for sure, and then one of these, whatever you have or whatever you like or whatever the case may be, you're fine with any of these for your 4th Scarab. As far as sextants, early on, I do not purchase them. I think I already have some on here. I would typically, so Beyond is really nice. Anything that adds more monsters is the goal, right? So anything like these rare monster packs is fine. These are always really nice. That adds cold, fire, lightning, chaos, all that kind of stuff, because you get 6 additional packs of monsters out of that. And so early on, I don't buy my sextants. I don't go get anything specific. I just try to get more monsters. Shrine's good because you get a big pack of monsters around your shrine, but that can be replaced. Again, I just don't want to spend a ton of sextants early on. I just simply want more monsters on my map. That's it. Okay, and then as far as map device, so we would throw all those in, and then we are going to use, pull these out. So we would throw all those in, right? And then we would add a delirium. So this is, this and your scarabs are your big investment, really. That's why I don't like spending a ton on sextants and stuff like that early on. Now that I'm going to, make a magic find build, I will start going and buying the specific sextants that I want. But delirium mirror, is as much as you can afford it. If you don't have the chaos, you can still run this. But delirium mirror adds a lot. I think it's 20% quant just by default. So, that's what we want. And then we run the Eater of Worlds green altar. Occasionally I'll throw on Einhar. Some people like the temple just because you can go into the little areas and kill some more monsters. I just think they slow you down and they're not necessarily worth dropping into them personally. But so if I just want more monsters, I go with Einhar. And then, yeah, and that's what we run. As far as our tree, we are focused on strong boxes, Harbinger. We take every single Harbinger node that we can, right? We take more strong box for the operative. We take tormented spirits just because that's, that's more quant out of these guys, and they show up fairly often. More strong box stuff, all the green altar. And then we take the Enduring Influence for 1 additional sextant use, and then we take Map Device has 10% not to consume Scarabs. And then otherwise, it's just all the quantity nodes. I still have a few unique maps, so we'll take those last 3 when those are done, and then all of the increased effective modifiers on your maps. And then we have the Delirium tree here. So nothing crazy. It's just, and then as far as the cartography scarab, the reason why we run that is for singular focus, where we have a better chance to drop our favorite maps for sustain, but then also any other maps have a chance to drop as basic currency, and basic currency consists of divines and even mirrors and chaos and all that. So instead of dropping maps that I'm never going to run and I'm not going to take the time to sell, I just hope that maybe I can drop a divine in place of one here and there. So that's all we do for the tree. Nothing crazy. And that's about it, honestly. And I just farm up the maps. I did run a little bit of Trial of the Ancestors. You get a lot of access to raw divines and things like that. But I do think that if you can run this strategy efficiently, this is better currency. It's faster. It's more fun, to be honest. I think Trials is a lot of fun. But I love mapping in this game and just hearing that zing and, seeing the white little drop on there and all that. I love dropping divination cards. One of my favorite things to farm. So that's pretty much it, guys. And like I said, my build is good. It's strong, but you don't need a super strong build to be able to do this. You just need some survivability and some decent damage. And if you're okay with taking deaths here and there, you're fine. You could even throw on a cast on death portal, which I will do that on my magic find build. On this, I didn't need it. I don't die a whole lot. But that's about it, guys. I mean, Headhunter acquired 3 days. I'm pretty pleased. I'm surprised that I was able to get it done that quickly. Like I said, it usually takes me 4 and then kind of trickles into 5. Yeah, 3 days, had some good luck. And so, yeah, I've been streaming also every day, at least through the weekdays, occasionally on the weekends. If you guys want to pop in and come check it out or ask some questions or check out the new Magic Find build that I'm going to be starting, by all means, come stop by, like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.